Hello and welcome to Songs for the Struggling Artist, the blogcast. I am back. I know it's been a little while. I was away. I had fully planned to try and get a blogcast out while I was traveling the wilds of California. It was not really the wilds. I was in urban areas most of the time, urban and suburban. But I just couldn't find. It's funny, like, because I got a new mic, one that travels better than the one I'm speaking to you on now. Just so I could do that if I felt like I could. And I was ready to, I'd organized like a song to be able to do that. And I just couldn't find the time and space. Time and space is really the thing to have. Technology, like the microphone, no problem. I had it. I was ready to go. But time and space, not so much. So apologies. I was away at the Patreon conference, also known as PatreCon. I have a lot of thoughts about it, and it was great, and I learned a lot, and it was also weird, and I'm not sure about how I'm going to share those thoughts of the weirdness and the goodness and all of it together. But I will, I'm sure, eventually. I'm just trying to kind of coalesce them a little bit. And also, I don't know, it's funny, like, now that I've met a lot of the people who are great. There's so many great people who work at Patreon. I'm like, I don't want to upset them. I think that's like, once you start to, like, when an institution is faceless, right? Like, it's just like the place where I put things in and then things come out, and like, if there's no human interaction, it feels very easy to be like, well, I feel blah, blah, blah. But like, when there are human people who are in front of you, who you like and enjoy, it's a little bit harder to be like, oh, I feel this way. There's not a lot of that. Like, I'm not like mad about it. If I was, I would definitely say. But I have questions. Because of course I do. Of course. Anyway, I'll talk more about it. I'm also incredibly grateful for Patreon and for my experience there. So I don't mean to lean into the weirdness. It's just, you're the people I tell about the weirdness. So it was weird. But it was also great. It was great, and hopefully it will help me out. So that's also good. And I'll tell you more about it as time goes by. But that's where I was. And while I was out in California, I thought, oh, I'll just go and visit all the people who I adore and like, who live in California, who I never get to see because they live in California. So I did a little of that as well. So I took a little mini tour. Bakersfield, Los Angeles, Bay Area, woo woo. Anyway, I'm back and tired, as you might imagine. Anyway, so that's the story, the deal. And today's blogcast is from a couple weeks ago. And it is sort of a follow-up on the Dragon Post and the Witch Post. So if you have not listened to either of those, you may want to as a background. I don't think you need to have heard either of those to listen to this one, but it might help. I don't know. You can tell me. So, this blog post is called Real Talk About Imagination. Real talk. I am not actually a dragon. I wish I was one, but I'm just a human lady person who is impossibly angry. I'm not actually a witch either. Surprise! I have often dreamed of having such powers, but I don't, in fact, possess any particular skill in magic. What I do have, though, is a well-practiced imagination and an understanding of the powers of make-believe. Sometimes pretending makes things better. I mean, I have been a rage fountain these last couple of weeks, just spinning round and around, watching rage pour forth from me like a sprinkler. It comes out in situations that do not merit such a response, and after a lifetime of being nice and sweet and making things easy for everyone around me, I do not really know how to handle my new rageful reality. Imagination and embodied expression are my only safe outlets. And what's wild is how it actually works sometimes. For example, as my friend and I stood talking next to the subway entrance, some man in khaki pants seemed to find us terribly compelling. He walked by us a couple of times and finally started to approach us. We did not stop our conversation or look at him, but I opened my hand, made a little whooshing sound, and combusted him in my imagination. And darned if he didn't just turn around and walk away. That's magic. The thing of it is, now is the time for fierce imagination. It is not going to be possible to free ourselves from the dystopia ahead of us without some really bold and vivid dreaming. In simply imagining a world wherein I am as powerful as a dragon, wherein the world is remade with women unafraid to walk down the street at night or anywhere, everywhere, I find it very hard to return peaceably to the world we live in. I cannot tolerate the old stories. I cannot stomach victim blaming. I am newly and freshly furious that women have had to accommodate ourselves to a world that has not seen us as human beings for 5,000 years. It's as if I've woken up in a new horrible world, but I've been living here the whole time. I don't want to see one more woman raped or murdered on screen. I don't want to see any more harassment on the street. I don't want to see a single woman disempowered. I don't want to watch one more wife in a sitcom get laughed at and dismissed. It feels like the only thing I can tolerate now is some other, more imaginative world. We need our dreamers now. We need our sci-fi creators, our Afrofuturists, our utopian other worlds. I have no stomach for anything else. I know it is virtually only in our imaginations that women can have real authority or agency or power, but imaginations can turn into reality and can lead to real-life transformation. It's time to get to work with high-level imagination. I feel like there's this theme that has been developing the last few months that is related to this kind of imaginative world. And there's more coming because I feel, there's some more. There is some more. I think I am relying on my own imagination in a way that I have not previously. I mean, I use it all the time. That is the good news here is that my imagination is not out of practice. It's my favorite thing. So I don't know. It's like when the things go crazy, when it feels terrible, I lean on things like imagination. I've discovered, which I don't think I knew that that's what was going to happen, but I kind of like it, and I'm sure I'm not alone. So I think we need what are those groups? They're called work groups or something. I feel like in offices they have okay, we have a team. And we're a group of people use their particular skill to try and get something done. I feel like we need imagination work groups. I don't know if they're actually called that. Those of you who actually work in offices, let me know. I don't know. So the song here is I was trying to think. I tried all different stuff, and then this song popped into my head, partly because I just made a random reference to it. I was in a Facebook group, and this woman was asking for advice for how to deal with a coworker who was being who wouldn't shut up about her sex life. She just was going on and on and on. And even though this woman had asked her to stop and had, she'd done all the things, and she was asking for what's a polite way to tell this woman to shut up? And I suggested, I was like, I don't think this is polite, but it might be fun. Like every time she starts telling some anecdote she doesn't want to hear, to just start singing really loud. This is my new solution to everything, apparently. Just start singing. If you don't know what else to do, just sing. That's my answer. So I was like, just sing whatever you like. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. Actually, the first thing I suggested was that she sing this woman's least favorite song. Like, find out a song she hates and just sing that song. Because that's how I think. But then I was like, or it could be anything. You could sing Pop Goes the Weasel or Magic Carpet Ride and some other song. I don't know why Magic Carpet Ride occurred to me in that moment. But then when I was trying to think about what song to put here at the end of this blog, I was trying to think, what are some songs about imagination, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, Magic Carpet Ride is perfect. So here's Magic Carpet Ride, which was actually really fun to learn. So, Magic Carpet Ride, originally by Steppenwolf.
To dream, yes, right between the sound machine. On a cloud of sunrise, it's in the night. Every place she goes is right. Flies far, flies near, till the stars away from here. You don't know what we can find. Why don't you come with me, little girl, on a magic carpet ride? You don't know. Why don't you tell your dreams to me? Fantasy will set you free. Close your eyes, girl. Look inside, girl. Let the sound take you away. Last night I found Aladdin's lamp, so I wish that I could stay. What thing could answer me? Well, someone came to the lamp away. I looked around, a lousy candle was all I found. But you don't know what we can find. Why don't you come with me, little girl, on a magic carpet ride? You don't know what we can see. Why don't you tell your dreams to me? Fantasy will set you free. It'll set you free. Your eyes, girl, look inside, girl, let the sound take you away. Close your eyes, girl, look inside, girl, let the sound take you away.